If you're watching this video, chances are you are learning the piano online, or trying to. There are so many different ways that you can learn the piano online that it can actually feel maybe a little bit overwhelming. And how do you decide what is the best way for you? So in this video, I wanted to give you sort of an overview of all the ways that you can learn piano online. I went through and I tested a bunch of different platforms just so I could get a feel for what they're like and what I could learn was possible. Now, I know, I am from Pianote, so maybe you think I'm biased, but I'm gonna tell you, I don't think I am, because it's my passion to help absolutely every single person in the whole entire world learn to play the piano. And that means there's gonna be a whole variety of learning styles, there's gonna be preferences, everybody's gonna have a different way to learn that's gonna be best for them. And I really just wanna help give you information about what's available, what's out there to help you sift through it all so that you can find the best way to learn the piano for you and get started. Now, before I dive into all the awesome ways you can learn to play the piano online, I really want to highlight the fact that you can learn to play the piano online. I get asked that a lot, like, is it actually possible to learn piano online as opposed to in a private setting? And I just want to say, absolutely. You can learn piano online super affordably. It works, like you can make it work with your time schedule because you can access your lessons anytime, anywhere. There are 1,000 reasons why learning the piano online is such a great option. So let's dive into some of the different ways that you can learn to play online. All right, obviously we're filming this video in my home, and I've got my 2 fur babies here, and this guy just doesn't do well without snuggles, so he's joining for this part of the video. So the first thing I wanted to dive into is YouTube, because YouTube is such a great place to go and find free piano lessons, and there are so many available. And so the pro of YouTube is that you've got free lessons and you've got a bazillion of them. The con can be that because there are so many and they don't seem to really follow a particular order, you can have all of your favorite channels. How do you know, which order to go in? And so it can be difficult to find an organized approach to learning. So I love YouTube for those quick wins, for kind of filling in gaps in your learning. If you're like, oh, I want to know more about this. But if you're wanting like a really structured approach to learning and you want to make sure that you're not missing anything, YouTube can be a little bit tricky in that way. So one of the hacks you can use for YouTube is find your favorite channels and go to playlists, because playlists are often organized sort of based on topic. So, we've got a playlist here on how to read music. And so you could go there and you could go through the videos. It would give you like a little bit more of a sequential order of things. See you later, buddy. And then you can try that on all of your favorite YouTube channels. Like I really love Piano TV. Did you see I tried to type Pianote TV? Everything's Pianote in my brain. Right, so here she's got some playlists. You could go in and she's got them organized into all kinds of different categories. So that's YouTube. YouTube is awesome. I love YouTube. All right, so the next sort of approach to learning I wanted to talk about is the video game style learning. There are so many apps that will allow you to learn the piano, and they have feedback-based learning, so you can connect them with cables, or some of them actually use the microphone in your device to hear the piano that you're playing. And so this would be things like Musician, Simply Piano, Flow Key. I tried a bunch of them. So these are app-based. So you download the app, you set it up so it connects to your piano or keyboard, and then you begin to play. So this style of learning can be a lot of fun. The first thing that happened when I started to use these apps was I actually got really excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, it can tell if I'm playing the right notes. And then if I played a wrong note, it would stop me. And a lot of them have like fun little color coding. So it was kind of just like a fun, I don't know, I'm not gonna say whimsical, but almost, like I got really excited about it. So that was the best part for me about these game style learning platforms. I'm just looking through here, like Musician, you can see they've got all these colors and there's different ways that you can approach learning. It's a great way to just get a feel for the piano. You can learn your basics really easily this way, and you can learn to play songs just sort of by following along and using that feedback to help you know if you're on track. One thing I wanted to mention is even though I had a lot of fun on the onset with this style of learning, I did find that it could get frustrating at certain points when I couldn't skip ahead if I found something too easy. There were some platforms where it was really difficult to move ahead to, the lessons that I wanted to get to. I had to go through them sequentially. I also noticed that the ability to tell you if you're playing the correct notes or not was great, but it couldn't really measure time. So it could tell if I was playing the note at the right time, but not if I was holding it for the duration that note needed to be held, right? For the difference between like a half note or a whole note. So that was something else to keep in mind. I felt like that might in the future deter me from really playing with the correct, rhythms and holding my hands properly and all of that. So all things to think about. I enjoyed it. If I were really like wanting to make sure that I had a really well-rounded understanding of the piano theory, improvisation, all the styles, all of that, I might not choose this approach to learning. But if I just wanted to go and have some fun at the piano, I would absolutely say that these can be a great way to enrich your learning experience. Next up, I wanted to talk about playground sessions. So playground sessions to me kind of felt like this in-between land of like the video game style learning, the app style learning, and more of like a membership site. It felt like a hybrid. So I was really probably the most excited about trying playground sessions, maybe because of Harry Connick Jr., maybe. So I had some fun in playground sessions. It does offer that connectivity, so it tells you if you're playing the right notes, but you have to have the ability to plug it into your piano. So you have to be connected that way in order for that to work. It was wonderful to see Harry teaching me some piano skills. I thought that was awesome. But I was surprised to learn that he wasn't teaching the majority of the lessons. He was just there occasionally. There were videos to support the learning, so that was cool. So you would watch your video and then it would give you something to work on and it would tell you if you were playing the notes correctly. So I really liked that as well. I did find it really difficult to navigate. So once I got in, I was like, where am I supposed to go? I was using it on my, my laptop. I had downloaded the app or software onto here, and I found that I had to download the course, and then I wasn't sure which, as a beginner, I really wouldn't have known potentially kind of where to go and how to progress myself through it. So I found that a little bit difficult, but there was a lot of good stuff. It also has like a community forum, it appeared, so you can go through and connect with other players that way. So there's a lot of good to be said for playground sessions. Once again, I felt like there wasn't a deep dive into the how and the why of everything and how you could go apply that outside the actual exercises that they were giving you. So you're learning something, but then how do you take that and go apply it in other ways? How do you grow that? How do you build and develop your practice? And I didn't see anything. I could have missed it. I didn't see anything talking about how to actually really build out your practice routine and create habits that'll lead you towards success as a piano player. So that was kind of a negative, and that also the experience of struggling to know where and how to go through the lessons. It didn't feel sequential. So there you go. That's my ideas, or thoughts rather, on playground sessions, which leads me to two more areas to talk about. I want to talk about private online lessons with like a one-on-one teacher, and I want to talk about the membership model. So taking lessons online with a piano teacher can be a great way to learn the piano. You get that one-on-one time still, and you get that personalized feedback constantly, which is awesome. This can be really expensive, the cost of private lessons. So if that's in your budget, this could be a great choice for you. You're going to be able to get exactly the feedback you need from your teacher. I would say make sure that you are very picky about who you select to be your teacher, because you want to have somebody who's going to be completely on board with your goals and connects with you in a way that makes sense to you, right? So you're learning and you're moving forward. It can be a little bit limiting. You only have access to those lessons once a week. And then you have to go and practice on your own and then come back and hope that you did everything correctly and you can move forward like that. I have been a private teacher. I've taught piano lessons online in that way. As a teacher, I found it difficult because you're not working in real time, so my student would have to, fuss with the camera angles and is it pointing at their hands and then, okay, stop, and then, can you try, point your camera at your music? So I just found that, as a teacher, I felt like I wasn't giving my student the best experience because there was all of this back and forth and it kind of was clumsy. And then finally, looking at the membership model. So there are definitely a few options for you when it comes to membership. Pianote, obviously. I've looked at piano with Johnny. There's also like sort of along the same lines, like an a la carte model where you can go like, and pick just certain courses to purchase and use from different piano players, like Chick Corea has one. So this model is either hosted online, so they're not necessarily app-based. You're gonna log in and get access to your lessons. And so what I've seen from these is that you have a practice feature. So while it doesn't give you direct feedback on your playing, it'll play the music and you can see it on screen and you can play along and adjust the tempo. These options also usually include community aspects, so forums, live lessons potentially, and that's awesome. That's one of my favorite things about online learning is your access to the piano community. Because when I was learning to play the piano growing up in private lessons, I didn't really know any other piano players. So I didn't have that community of people to like encourage me and to talk about things with, my struggles and my successes. So I really, really like that about these membership platforms. And then usually you have access to a fairly like wide variety of styles. So, or lessons. So when you log in, you can just go. You're not limited to you know, one lesson. You've got all of these options. And I know in Pianote we have them organized so that they're step by step, so you can either go through them very like in the progressions, you know exactly what to do and how long to practice it, and you know you can follow it, so you have this path to learning, plus all the extras like song tutorials and all that fun stuff. And so I think that it's a great way to learn. And so this is, you know, back at the beginning of the video I said I'm not biased. Obviously there's gonna be some bias because I've played such a role in creating Pianote, and Pianote is a membership-based way to learn the piano. But I get so happy about it. There's a reason why I went from private practice to teaching online, because I realized that I could, first of all, reach way more people this way, but they would have access to the learning anytime. So anytime they want to learn, it's there. And the support would be there because there's this whole community of players at all levels that are giving input on how you're doing. Anytime you have a question, you can ask it and actually get an answer. And that, you know, there could be lessons in so many different topics that people can access whenever they want to. So this is what gets me really, really excited about this way of learning. And then, you know, you have the opportunity to access live lessons. I know Piano with Johnny does those. I know that we do them. We do them twice, well, once a week we do a Q&A, and then twice a week we actually watch our students play. They send in videos and we give feedback, and then we help them become better based on their goals. And it's all so affordable. I think, you know, when you do the math, you know, 1 month of Pianote is like a fraction of the cost of a month of private lessons. So that also helps. There you go. Lots of ways to learn the piano. I would encourage you to set the bar really high for online learning, because I know it can be amazing. There's a reason why I went from teaching privately to teaching online, and it's because I actually believe it's one of the very best ways to learn. You can access your lessons anytime, anywhere. In a platform like Pianote, you have the ability to connect with a community, which is so important. You can ask questions, you can have them answered. There are people of all styles and skill levels and all over the world that are gonna be interacting with you to help you stay moving toward your goals. It's amazing. And then you have access to all these lessons, so you can follow this main path to learning, to build your foundation, and then you can customize. You can do songs, you can do styles. There's so much there. That's definitely my favorite way to learn to play the piano. I guess you could call me a little bit biased here, but I really just want you to find what works best for you. So I hope that this video has given you some information to help you. Don't hesitate to use more than one platform. You can mix and match these. If you love the piano, fill your life with as much piano as you possibly can. So comment below, let us know what your favorite way to learn the piano online is. Let's start a conversation. Let's help each other out a little bit here. And most of all, happy practicing.